Mrs. Garcia, and this is Mr. Powell. We are actually here today because the IGP process is about to begin, and you have to make some decisions about which courses that you want to take for next year. So we wanted you to be more aware of some of the options that you have for math. And we realize you haven't had the Algebra 2 course or the Pre-Cal course yet until next semester, but we did want you to think about what you're going toward. So that's what today is about, to give you some options. Let's start first talking about statistics. In the statistics class, we have a year-long class, which is an AP class, and we have a semester class, which is an honors class. You can see the grade prerequisites required for each of those classes. For the AP class, you have to have a B or higher in an Algebra 2 CP class, or you have to have passed honors Algebra 2. It is a good thing because you can also take this at the same time as Pre-Cal. I have several students that have taken both at the same time and done very well because they're two completely different math courses. The honors math, or the honors probability and statistics course, is a good course for those that don't have that desire to take the AP, or they can't fit it into their schedule. It is a semester-long course, and it gets you honors credit. The good thing about statistics is that everybody's going to use it somewhere, so it's always a good one to have under your belt. The grade prereqs for the honors prob stats, you can see Algebra 2 honors, or a C in Algebra 2 CP, or a B in Algebra 2 AB. One of the things I wanted to point out about statistics in general, it's becoming a very widespread math course. If you look at the green at the bottom, it says as of 2017, estimations show that jobs that require data literacy and statistics are among the 10 fastest growing occupations in the country. Everything that we do in life requires statistics. And there are so many college courses that require it now that we want you to consider. We know that Tri-County offers a Math 120, and I have taught that course. So I will talk to you about that at the end and compare what we offer here as far as what they do there and what we do here. All right, Mr. Powell?
My name is Mr. Powell. I teach the AP Calculus class. Ms. Murray is not in here today. She teaches the honors calc class. The difference between the two, first of all, you got to take pre-calculus in order to take the calculus class, and that'll be after your Algebra 2 that you guys are taking in the spring. If you would like to take honors calculus, you can see the prerequisites there. You have to have a C or higher in pre-cal CP or honors. In order to get an AP calculus, you got to take pre-cal honors with a B or higher, or pre-cal and get a high A and a teacher recommendation. AP calculus, we have two different AP calculus classes. There's AP calculus AB, which is Calc 1, and AP calculus BC, which is Calc 1 and Calc 2. Both of those are year-long classes. You get college credit for them. You take the AP exam, the whole 9 yards. The honors course gives you kind of an introduction to calculus. There's no AP test at the end, and it's just an honors semester course that you take here on campus, no college credit. So that's the way that we run our calculus classes. Most people think usually calculus is people only doing engineering and architecture and that kind of stuff. You'd be surprised how many majors require a calc course that you can go ahead and knock out while you're in high school. You have, if a school sees that you're taking calculus on your transcript, that tells them something about you, that you're not taking a senior year off or just slacking kind of at the end when you have some time, but you're really pushing yourself hard, getting into the high-tech world, applies to many real-world applications, and then also helps you communicate mathematically. So it's a good class. It's very difficult. It's hard to get in, and it's a difficult class, but it's worth taking if you're eligible to take it. Anytime I talk to kids, I tell them that if they are eligible, they should take calc. Because it's that good. In terms of the AP classes versus the dual enrollment classes, and me and Ms. Garcia will both kind of talk about this a little bit. If you take calculus or you take statistics at Tri-County, you're only going for about 23 classes. Okay, now which in my mind I kind of think, ooh, that's kind of nice, 23 classes, but you're getting the same amount of material crammed into 23 one-hour classes versus getting it for the full year here for an hour and a half a piece. So the biggest complaint I hear from kids that are taking dual enrollment calculus is there. It's kind of a hit or miss as to who you might get. Ms. Garcia, you want to add
Yeah.
to that?
These are what I asked my AP students what they liked about being in the AP class. And this is what they told me. You don't need transportation. And I know that some of you already have transportation, but some of you don't. So that is something to consider. The classes are free. When you take your AP test at the end of the year, it won't cost you anything to take that test. And Mr. Powell's already said, you know who the teachers are going to be here. We meet with our classes 180 days of the year, and speaking as a teacher of the Math 120, I did that for about 9 years at night while I was teaching here during the day. It's a very different class. Now, some people in here will require the Math 120. You know, you might need that Math 120. Maybe you're only interested in that one semester course. You don't need another stats class. You want to get it done. You want to get out of the way. A lot of that depends on what you want to go into as your career when you leave high school. One of the things we want to encourage you to do is to go, at this point, you should be thinking about, what do I want to do for a living? And most of you have already started to zero in on that. So go to some of the college course catalogs that you are interested in attending and look up the math requirements. If you need a statistics class at more than one, then I would encourage you, if you meet the grade prerequisites, to attend the AP Stats class here at TL Hanna. Same thing with Mr. Powell's class. If you need more than 1 or 2 calc classes, you want to take it here, because this is where you're going to get the best educational opportunities. Make sure that you look and see what you need. If you don't need statistics for what your major will be, then don't take statistics. If you don't need calculus for what your major will be, don't take calculus. Now, optimally, what we would love to see is that you take AP statistics as a junior, and then you take AP Calc as a senior, and then you get the best of both worlds. The teachers at Tri-County are adjunct teachers sometimes, and you really don't know who you're going to get until you sign up and you go. You don't have a lot of options there, and sometimes that can be a little bit of a problem. It is all homework online there. So when I taught my class, I had to go so fast. I literally, when he said there's like 23 classes, that's how long I had to teach this course in one semester. There was no time in class to talk about homework or go over homework problems. They had to find me and talk to me about that separately, which was difficult because I was not a full-time teacher there. That's something to consider. Online software is difficult with math sometimes. Also, consider this for GPA purposes. If you you can pass that course with a D and get the credit here at TL Hanna, but it will not be a transfer course for you. You have to make a C or higher as a transfer. Also, if you make, the way they do the grades there are A, B, C, D. They don't give us numerical grades. So if you are reported as an A, then the highest grade you can get is a 95. But if you make 100 in AP, you're going to get 100 here. If you made 100 average at Tri-County, you're still going to get a 95. All right, so think about that when you're considering your GPA. And the one last thing I wanted to mention is when you are here and you are in our classes, you have a lot of group work, you have a lot of discussions, and believe me, the kids love that because it's not just you independently trying to figure things out. It's you with your group that can struggle together, and that's the one thing at the end of the year they always say, that was great. I loved being able to talk it over with people, and we have a good time. Both classes, if you talk to anybody in either class, I think they'll tell you it can be a fun class. Even though it's not easy, neither one are easy classes, you have to be willing to work, it's still worth the effort. We hope that you will consider taking AP. If you are eligible to do that and you are capable of doing that, you're going to get a really good education if you choose to join one of our classes. Does anybody have any questions?
We got our AP numbers in a few weeks ago. I think you saw on the school report card or not. We're number 4 in the state in terms of how well our kids do on AP exam. So we do a good job with our AP programs. We beat South Carolina Governor School for Math and Science and pretty much everybody else too. So our classes are really good. We'd love to have you if you're eligible. We're both on the 800 hall all the time. So if you have any questions in the next year or two, hopefully you'll see Ms. Garcia
stood back here for a minute because he did. How many people do we have in honors count? Do we know?
I'll have to ask Fran. That's her numbers. I don't know. I know. I mean, there's nothing in the CP. So.